Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, October 5th, 2022. Today we'll go over Major League Baseball results from yesterday, look ahead to today's games. We have college football and Major League Soccer tonight. NBA and NHL preseason we'll talk about as well. NHL left wing rankings, Masked Singer and Survivor tonight, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with baseball. Second to last day of the regular season, we'll look back on the results and look ahead to today's action. And yesterday was a big day in Major League Baseball. Doubleheader Game 1, Mets over the Nationals 4-2. Doubleheader Game 1, Yankees over the Rangers 5-4. Guardians over the Royals 5-3. Mariners over the Tigers 7-6 and 10 on a walk-off single sac fly by Abraham Toro for the Mariners to clinch the 5 seed. Cardinals over the Pirates 8-7 and 10. Braves over the Marlins 2-1 to win the NL East crown. Reds over the Cubs 3-2. Red Sox over the Rays 6-0 in a rain-shortened 5 games. Brewers over the Diamondbacks 3-0. Astros over the Phillies 10-0. Doubleheader Game 2. Rangers over the Yankees 3-2, but Aaron Judge finally breaks Roger Maris's single-season American League home run record with the 62nd home run last night to lead off the game on a 1-1 pitch. Very surreal. Doubleheader Game 2, Mets over the Nats 8-0. White Sox over the Twins 8-3, so best bet 1. A's over the Angels 2-1 and 10 on a walk-off walk by Shea Langoliers. Padres over the Giants 6-2. Rockies over the Dodgers 5-2. Mariners over the Tigers 9-6. Blue Jays Orioles postpone makeup date today. So a very busy day today in Major League Baseball. 12:30 we have the Blue Jays at the Orioles. Meaningless game because Toronto has 4 clinched and Baltimore's out of it. It's Mitch White and Mike Bauman. For the last day of the season, we have to do picks. So, we'll see if this game's even posted because it's game 1 of a doubleheader. Not a lot of games are probably posted. No, that one's not posted. But I would probably take the Orioles at home to close out their successful season with the win. At least in game 1, maybe game 2 as well. Angels A's, Shohei Ohtani and Ken Waldichuk. This game's posted, so that's cool. Ohtani's pitching in the finale. They're minus 225. A's are plus 188. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Angels minus 1.5 is minus 118. A's plus 1.5 is minus 102. I'm going to go with the over. Ken Waldichuk might single-handedly make this game go over. Blue Jays Orioles game number 2. We would know is going for Toronto, and Spencer Watkins is going for Baltimore. I'm going to say those two split. Baltimore ends up going 83 and 79. Toronto will be 92 and 70. Cardinals Pirates. We would know is going for St. Louis, and Yohan Oviedo is going for Pittsburgh. There's no betting information on this game either. Pittsburgh has nothing to play for, neither does the Cards. Yankees Rangers. So, Domingo Germán and Glenn Otto to close out the Yankees regular season in Texas. Is Yanks minus 120, Rangers plus 102, over under 7.5, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Yankees minus 1.5 is plus 140, Texas plus 1.5 is minus 170. So, if the Yankees win, they're going to end up with 62 losses. If the Yankees lose, they'll end up with 99 wins. So there's some symmetry going on with Aaron Judge right now as the record sits at 99 and 62. Talk about things that are meant to be. This is a big moment for Germán. A spot on the postseason roster on the line. I don't think the Yankees are going to play a lot of their regulars. I like the under 7.5. Phillies Astros, meaningless game. Bailey Falter, Framber Valdez. A lot of these games are somewhat meaningless now. Astros minus 188. Phillies plus 158. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Phillies plus 1.5 is minus 146. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 122. Actually, no, this isn't a meaningless game. Phillies are playing for playoff positioning. So they're either going to play the Mets or, if you're the Phillies, do you want to play the Mets or the Cardinals? So this is a big spot for Philly. So where things stand right now, they're 87 and 74. Oh wait, they are locked into that last spot. So it's going to be Padres, Mets, and so none of these games are really meaningful. That kind of sucks. And now that Judge broke the record, maybe Judge plays again. That's insane. So it's going to be the Phils against the Cards. But for this game, I'm going to go with the over. Diamondbacks, Brewers, Merrill Kelly and Corbin Burns. Brewers minus 174, D-backs plus 146, over under 7, over is even money, there's minus 122. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 146, Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 122. The Brewers are going to finish double digits over 500 and not make the playoffs. You don't see that often. There's always a good team that misses the playoffs every year. And this year it's the Brewers. I'm taking the over in this spot. Royals, Guardians. Jonathan Heasley and Aaron Savali. Guardians are minus 184. Royals are plus 154 over under 7.5. Minus 110 each way. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 134. Guardians minus 1.5 is plus 112. I'm going with the over. Tigers, Mariners. Tyler Alexander and Marco Gonzalez. Mariners minus 158. Tigers plus 134 over under 7.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 166. Seattle minus 1.5 is plus 138. Over. Braves, Marlins. We know what's going for Atlanta, and Alicia Hernandez is going for Miami. Nats, Mets. Eric Feed, we know what's going for the Mets. Giants, Padres. We know what's going for either side. Rays, Red Sox. Josh Fleming and Nick Pivetta. The Rays tanked to get to that 6th seed. Let's see if it pays off. The Rays, if they don't make the ALCS, their season's a failure because they clearly tanked to dodge the Astros in the bracket, I think. They're an underdog here. Red Sox are favorite, minus 110. Rays are minus 106, over under 8. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Rays minus 1.5 is plus 160. Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 194. Another over. Although the Red Sox at minus 110 is a clear pick as well, but the over is more realistic for me. Cubs, Reds, Adrian Sampson and Graham Ashcraft. Cubs are minus 126. Reds are plus 108. Over under 8.5, minus 110 each way. Cubs minus 1.5 is plus 138. And Reds plus 1.5 is minus 166. I'm going with the over. Twins, White Sox, Louis Varland and Davis Martin. White Sox minus 124. Twins plus 106. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Twins plus 1.5 is minus 205. White Sox minus 1.5 is plus 168. I'm going with the over. And last but not least, the Rockies and the Dodgers. Austin Gomber and Clayton Kershaw. So Kershaw's closing out the season. Looks like he's going to start game 1 of the NLDS. And that game is not posted yet from a betting standpoint either. All right, now we'll move on to college football. We have one game tonight. It's the gift that keeps on giving when it comes to a team that I've been betting against throughout the season. And that's SMU, as they are at UCF for a makeup game that should have been played on Saturday but was moved to Sunday and then today due to Hurricane Ian. So UCF in this game is favored by 2.5. Totals 162.5. I'm going to lay the heavy juice with Central Florida -2.5 at -120 against UCF. That is just a no-brainer pick for me. And SMU is a complete fraud. I don't know why that the market hasn't caught up to this yet. SMU's not good. Give me Central Florida, the blowout SMU, and they are going to get that number covered, and that's going to be a winning bet in the first quarter. All right, now I'll move on to Major League Soccer. There is a game tonight that we have to talk about, or maybe should be a couple. Let's see. 2. All right, so the first game, Charlotte is hosting Columbus. So where things stand right now, Charlotte's done, unless they play Sunday. They blew out the Union, which was amazing. So they do play Sunday at Orlando, so they're not done yet, but it'd be hard for them to get in. They would have to win both games. Some crazy stuff has happened to Orlando and Miami. But they have like a slight shot. So they're not completely out of the woods yet, as they host Columbus, who needs the game too. To try to get the 7th in the Eastern Conference. Charlotte's plus 155. Columbus is plus 165. The draw is plus 200. This is so hard. I'm going to go with Columbus at plus 165 to win. I think Charlotte has a letdown after their big win over the Union. And then 8 o'clock is Miami against Orlando. Orlando needs the game. Miami needs the game. Miami's plus 145. Orlando's plus 165. Draws plus 220. So if Columbus wins, they jump them both. If these two teams draw, they each get 46 points. So Columbus would go to 5th. Cincinnati drops to 6th. And these two teams are going to be tied 7th and 8th going into Sunday. So I'm going to say draw here at plus 220. All right, now we'll move on to the NBA preseason. We have results to discuss from yesterday, and we have games to look at for tonight. Knicks over the Pistons 117-96. They looked really good. R.J. Barrett, 21 points in the win. Jalen Brunson had a good Knicks debut as well. Jaden Ivey had 16 in defeat for Detroit. Timberwolves over the Heat 121-111. Anthony Edwards was so good, 24 points in the win. And Tyler Herro, 22 and 4 assists. Pelicans over the Bulls 129-125. Devontae Graham had 21 points to lead New Orleans, and DeMar DeRozan had 21 to lead the Bulls. Jazz over the Trailblazers 118-101. Jordan Clarkson 19 points for Utah, and Dame had 21 and 6 assists for Portland. All right. At 7 o'clock tonight, you have the Pacers at the Hornets from Charlotte. Maybe the two worst teams in the Eastern Conference this year, potentially. So Charlotte is, or Indiana's a 2.5-point favorite. Why? I'm going to lay with Indiana because the guys are still on the roster. NBA TV, Cavs, Sixers. Sixers are given 4.5. I'm going to take Cleveland getting the points. I don't know if they'll actually win the game, but I think they'll hang around with Philly in this preseason game. That's on NBA TV. 7:30 is the Raptors and the Celtics. Celtics are giving 4. I'm taking Toronto. 8 o'clock, the Mavs against the Thunder. The Mavs are giving 7. I'm taking OKC at home as the underdog. And NBA TV at 10 o'clock, the Suns and the Lakers. The Suns coming off that awful loss to the Australian team. I'm going to lay the points with Phoenix in Los Angeles against the Lakers. All right, the NHL preseason, we'll go over results from that and look ahead to tonight's preseason games. Islanders over the Flyers 4-3 in overtime on a game winner by Noah Dobson. Senators over the Habs 5-4. Sabres over the Canes 4-2. Blues over the Wild 4-2. Coyotes lose at Vegas 4-3, and the Ducks over the Kings 5-4. All right, 7 o'clock on TNT tonight, the Bruins and the Rangers. What are the chances Turner has the Knicks and the Rangers back-to-back? Turner realized that last night. Spiro Ditas and Stan Van Gundy realized that as they were promoting the NHL on TNT. Looks like all the games are locked from betting for some reason. Red Wings, Capitals, 8 o'clock Flames, Jets, 9:30 TNT Stars, Avalanche, and 10 o'clock is the Oilers at the Canucks. All right, now I'm going to do my NHL left wing rankings. This was a difficult list to put together. There's some guys that are on injured reserve. A lot of them are right wing players. So this was a difficult list to put together. So 128 players made the list. Every team is projected starting left wing. And without further ado, here we go. 128, Liam O'Brien, Coyotes. 127, AJ Greer, Bruins. 126, Cole Smith, Predators. 125, Nathan Walker, Blues. 124, Max Jones, Ducks. 123, Rasmus Asplund, Sabres. 122, Carl Gunstrom, Kings. 121, Parker Kelly, Senators. 120, Nicholas Deslauriers, Flyers. 119, Jansen Harkins, Jets. 118, Kevin Rooney, Flames. 117, Dominic Toninato, Jets. 116, Colin Blackwell, Blackhawks. 115, Jordan Matanuk, Hurricanes. 114, Nick Cousins, Panthers. 113, Joel Kiviranta, Stars. 112, Adam Ern, Red Wings. 111, Yakov Trenin, Preds. 110, Emil Bermstrom, Blue Jackets. 109, Tyler Mott, Senators. 108, Sammy Blaze, Rangers. 107, Noah Gregor, Sharks. 106, Jason Dickinson, Canucks. 105, Matt Martin, Islanders. 104, William Carrier, Golden Knights. 103, Jordan Greenway, Wild. 102, Matthias Janmark, Oilers. 101, Tyler Johnson, Blackhawks. 100, Jacob Peterson, Stars. 99, Milan Lucic, Flames. 98, Joel Armia, Canadiens. 97, Andrew Cogliano, Avalanche. 96, Pierre Engvall, Maple Leafs. 95, Eric Robinson, Blue Jackets. Number 94, Brett Howden, Golden Knights. Number 93, Matthew Nido, Sharks. Number 92, Pat Maroon, Lightning. 91, Brock McGinn, Penguins. 90, Ryan McLeod, Oilers. 89, Rocco Grimaldi, Ducks. 88, Jonathan Drouin, Canadiens. 87, Miles Wood, Devils. 86, Brandon Tanev, Kraken. 85, Connor Sheary, Capitals. 84, Phil Karusha, Blackhawks. 83, Nick Ritchie, Coyotes. 82, Max Kamadas, Ducks. 81, Cal Jarnkrok, Maple Leafs. 80, Andreas Johnson, Devils. 79, Ross Colton, Lightning. 78, Tyson Yost, Wild. 77, Marcus Johansson, Capitals. 76, Trevor Moore, Kings. 75, Anthony Beauvillier, Islanders. 74, Evan Rodriguez, Avalanche. 73, Oscar Lindholm, Sharks. 72, Dominic Kubelak, Red Wings. 71, Colton Dach, Blackhawks. 70, Nicholas Robertson, Maple Leafs. 69, Pavel Zacha, Bruins. 68, Lawson Krause, Coyotes. 67, Zach Parise, Islanders. 66, Paul Stastny, Hurricanes. 65, Jaden Schwartz, Kraken. 64, Zach Hyman, Oilers. 63, Danton Heinen, Penguins. 62, Scott Laughton, Flyers. 61, Yegor Sharangovich, Devils. 60, James Van Riemsdyk, Flyers. 59, Andrei Kuzmenko, Canucks. 58, Joel Farabee, Flyers. 57, Brendan Saad, Blues. 56, Nino Niederreiter, Predators. 55, Alex Iafo, Kings. 54, Anthony DeClaire, Panthers. 53, Gustav Nyquist, Blue Jackets. 52, Andre Palat, Devils. 51, Jared McCann, Kraken. 50, Tanner Pearson, Canucks. 49, Evgeny Dadonov, Canadiens. 48, Mason Marchment, Stars. 47, Carter Verhaeghe, Panthers. 46, Jacob Vrana, Red Wings. 45, Arturi Lehkonen, Avalanche. 44, Ivan Barbashev, Blues. 43, Andrew Magnapane, Flames. 42, Ryan Donato, Kraken. 41, Peyton Kurb, Sabres. 40, Vasily Podzlokin, Canucks. 39, Cole Perfetti, Jets. 38, Matt Boldy, Wild. 37, Adrian Kempe, Kings. 36, Connor McMichael, Capitals. 35, Jack Quinn, Sabres. 34, Alexei Lafreniere, Rangers. 33, Anders Lee, Islanders. 32, Jeff Skinner, Sabres. 31, Jeff Carter, Penguins. 30, Alex Killorn, Lightning. 29, Riley Smith, Golden Knights. 28, Adam Henrique, Ducks. 27, Michael Bunting, Maple Leafs. 26, Jonathan Marchessault, Golden Knights. 25, Pavel Buchnevich, Blues. 24, Tyler Bertuzzi, Red Wings. 23, Cole Caulfield, Canadiens. 22, Brady Tkachuk, Senators. 21, Sam Reinhart, Panthers. 20, Taylor Hall, Bruins. 19, Jimmy Benn, Stars. 18, Steven Stamkos, Lightning. 17, Clayton Keller, Coyotes. 16, Teuvo Teravainen, Hurricanes. 15, Timo Meier, Sharks. 14, Alex DeBrincat, Senators. 13, Chris Kreider, Rangers. 12, Evander Kane, Oilers. 11, Jake Gensel, Penguins. 10, Gabriel Landeskog, Avalanche. 9, Andrei Svechnikov, Hurricanes. 8, Brad Marchand, Bruins. 7, Philip Forsberg, Predators. 6, Kyle Connor, Jets. 5, Artemi Panarin, Rangers. 4, Jonathan Huberdeau, Flames. 3, Johnny Gaudreau, Blue Jackets. 2, Kirill Kaprizov, Wild. And number 1, Alexander Ovechkin, Washington Capitals. Ovechkin's number 1 yet again. He's still a man on a mission trying to break the Wayne Gretzky record. And he looks like he hasn't aged one bit. All right, so there you have it for my left wing rankings. And in terms of other guys, Smil Ovechkin was the easy number 1. I think Kaprizov is going to build on his year from last year. Gaudreau and Huberdeau are going to be linked because of the Flames. Panarin, I think, will be even better than he was last year. Kyle Connor's really good. Forsberg, I think, is super underrated. I think Svechnikov's going to make a big leap. Marchand, coming off one of his best seasons. Landeskog, I feel like, is always hurt. And then you can make a case for Gensel, Evander Kane, Kreider to be in the top 10 as well. Maybe even to Brinkett. So, the left wing rankings are hard. Tomorrow we're going to do right wing. All right, Masked Singer for tonight. We're going to see Harp again, and we're going to see a couple of new characters. I think one of them's like mummies or something like that, honestly. Because we're going to see a in terms of tonight's episode, a multi-person contestant. So, or character, I should say, not contestant. So it's going to be very interesting. So, as we know, the beginning of episode 2 starts with Hummingbird getting unmasked. Nicole's guest wasn't announced. Jenny said Rob Thomas. Robin said Deion Sanders. Ken said Tom Brady. I said Eli. And it was NSYNC's Chris Kirkpatrick. And then it's Vegas night. Donny Osmond comes out and performs The Greatest Show, which was his first song that he sang in the peacock costume. And then he performed Viva Las Vegas. And then it was announced that he's also a guest paddlist. The Panther went first. There was some Japan hints. There's basketball, Beyonce, letters of MIA. There's a paper that said defense that was cut in half. There was like a cassette tape in there. And he makes a Back to One reference, which is a song by Brian McKnight. And he performs Feeling Good by Nina Simone, and his special clue, which Jenny picked up, which was a globe, and it said victory, and he says that victories mean the world. Ken said Andre Drummond and Sam Richardson. Jenny said Brian McKnight and Lamar Odom. Nicole said Billy Porter and Tito. Then came Pirate. There was a beach in there. Says he wasn't popular when he was young. There's a puppet, Hollywood, dinner for dummies, a late laugh. And he performed Crocodile Rock by Elton John. And the special clue was saying that he was giving a taste of himself on the show, like of how it was he is personality-wise. Ken said Robert Smigel, Nicole said Terry Farter, and Donnie said Jeff Dunham. And then Harp performed last, obviously. Talks about being casted. There's a witch hat, binoculars, a throne, a night CD. Says that she's always on time. And she performed I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston. And there's a special clue that said collaborated and said that she sang with Nicole. Nicole said Amber Riley. Jenny said Ashanti. Robin said Yvette Nicole Brown. First unmasked was Pirate. My final guess was Jimmy Kimmel. Donnie said Jeff Dunham. Ken said Robert Smigel. Nicole said Terry Fader. Robin said Dana Carvey. Jenny originally said Steve Carell, then changed to Carrot Top. And who was it? Jeff Dunham, as Donnie Osmond was right. Then it was a battle of Royale between the top two, Panther and Harp. And then the panel decides who moves on. They both sang their renditions of Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf. Panther went first and Harp went second. And Harp was the one who ends up advancing. Panther gets unmasked. My first impression, guess, of Panther, because of his height and because of his personality, I thought this was Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers. My final guess was CeeLo Green. Jenny said Lamar Odom. Nicole said Billy Porter. Robin said Amon Shumpert. Donnie said Andre Drummond. And Ken said Sam Richardson. And who was it? None of those guys. It was Montel Jordan. This is how we do it. That's crazy. And they let him perform that at the end, which was pretty cool. And looking forward to tonight's episode. Episode 2 absolutely lived up to the hype, and it was the best episode of the season so far. A lot of big names on Masked. All right, Survivor. Last week was an interesting episode. We forgot to talk about it on the Thursday show because we didn't have a lot of time. So before the challenge, they showed a lot of the camps and mini alliances that were going on. And then eventually they got to the immunity reward challenge as the group swam towards a bamboo cage where they got a heavy floating snake filled with numbered discs and halted to shore. And once it was on the land, another person used the discs to solve a combination, lock, and release the puzzle pieces, in which two people used to assemble a giant Survivor 43 puzzle, and the first two tribes to finish won immunity, as well large and small fishing gear rewards respectively, and then the losing tribe forfeited their flint and went to tribal council. Baka and Coco won the challenge, and then they were talking about who they were voting out. The consensus felt like it was NECA. And then Cody before and found a beware advantage and opened it, forcing Tim to get beads from the bags of his tribe mates to make an idol bracelet, or else he'd lose his vote. And then Dwight was without a vote, so Cody had to scramble to earn his vote back, which he was able to do before the council. And then there's talks about sending Justine home. And then goes to tribal council. So Dwight did not have a vote, as he and Gabler chose to risk their vote for a 1 in 2 chance of earning an advantage in time, and Gabler won the advantage. And then Dwight ended up losing his vote. Cody voted out Justine, as did Jesse and NECA. Noel voted NECA, and Justine voted for Cody. Justine went home. It was a 3-1-1 vote, as Justine got sent home. I think NECA should have gone home. She was awful in that challenge, and her and her teammates decided to vote out Justine instead. So it's going to be an interesting episode. Maybe Coco finally goes to tribal council, because that's what usually tends to happen. So I'm going to say Coco goes. And Coco's a good group. I really do like that group a lot. I like all the groups. And I think the person that has a good chance of getting booted from the show could be maybe either Cassidy or Carla. I'm going to say Carla, but I don't feel good about it. I have no inside information or anything, but sometimes I blindly guess. Somebody could have a bad week and you get sent home, or your tribe mates don't like you and they send you home. Let's say Kayla or Carla, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Cassidy. Wouldn't be surprised if it's anybody, really. But I'm going to say Coco finally goes to tribal council. Okay, news and notes for today. We'll start with Aaron Judge's home run. We alluded to it in the baseball segment. It was surreal. We talked about how the Yankees have a 99-61 record. John Sterling had a great call. So did Michael Kay. Patty Judge was ecstatic in the crowd. So was his Aaron's dad and Aaron's wife. Derek Jeter congratulated Judge. And Judge got a standing ovation in Texas. And something crazy happened, is that a fan fell trying to catch Aaron Judge's home run, as a fan went over rolling, going for the ball. But the person ended up being okay, which is good news. And then a fan caught the home run ball, and it's an estimated $2 million ball, and the fan gets escorted and mobbed by cameras, which is crazy. Yankees reliever Ron Marinaccio out until the ALCS, as he goes on the injured list with the shin injury. The Yankee bullpen is the biggest weakness heading into the postseason, and most of it's due to injury. I think Aroldis Chapman has to be on the playoff roster with a couple of these guys hurt. But if he's truly awful and somebody comes back, he is off the playoff roster. I know fans don't like him. He's washed, but I think he has to be on the playoff roster, and it's only because of the injuries that the Yankees have suffered of late. So the bracket is set for the playoffs, as we discussed earlier. The Astros had a no-hitter going into the ninth inning. Verlander threw 8 no-hit innings, and then they go to the bullpen, and then former Astro Garrett Stubbs broke up the no-hitter with a single. Some basketball stuff. Victor Wembanyama played last night, as did Scoot. And they played against each other, and it was really, really fun to watch. Scoot Henderson and Victor Wembanyama, they're going to be the top 2 picks in the draft next year. Everybody's so excited about them. And they combined for 65 points. Jimmy Butler had a new hairdo, and now it's gone. He had dreads. LeBron says he has no relationship with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He says no thoughts or no relationship with him amid chase for the scoring record. Cam Reddish did not return to the Knicks preseason opener due to an ankle injury, which is unfortunate for him. Now we're going to move on to football news. Just coming down, Blake Bortles retires from the league as he calls it a career. Obviously, he was the quarterback of the Jags when they made the AFC title game. But let's face it, that was a fluke because of him. Like, that team probably shouldn't have gone that far. And he held that team back. It was a talented team. But let's face it, he held them back. And it was one of the bigger busts over the last 10 years. Tua Tagovailoa will be interviewed as he's going to speak with investigators as far as the league's inquiry into his concussion evaluation. So that's really interesting. Deebo Samuel shades Jalen Ramsey, as Samuel didn't know what Ramsey was trying to do against him on his 57-yard touchdown. He goes, I just went right by him. Shaq Leonard has suffered a broken nose. So that is just not cool. He's had the worst luck. I feel bad. Jonathan Taylor wore a boot at practice yesterday. He said he wants to play, but it says if you can't go, you can't go. He's definitely not playing. Jerry Jones says on a radio interview that Prescott's return may take some more time during his weekly Dallas radio interview. That really stinks for them. Cardinals part ways with Andy Isabella after he played in only 2 games this season. Kenny Golladay is an MCL sprain as he's unlikely to make the trip to London. That is just not good. The Giants are just decimated by injuries at the wide receiver position right now. Their projected top 4 receivers are all hurt. Kadarius Toney, Wan'Dale Robinson, who they spent a second-round pick on, Golladay, who's one of the biggest free agent busts I can remember, and Shepard towards ACL on Monday Night Football. That is just brutal. Like, Richie James and David Sills are going to be their leading receivers. How are they beating the Packers on Sunday? They have 0 chance. Aaron Robinson placed on injury reserves as he'll miss the next 4 games due to a knee injury. And now their secondary is decimated. Like, Brian Daboll is the coach of the year through the first 4 weeks of the season right now. Like, no doubt. If I have time tomorrow, maybe I'll do who's the award leaders at the quarter point, because it is technically the quarter point of the season. And then halfway, like between like week 9's halfway. And then I'd say week 13 is 3 quarters. Matt Barzal signed to an 8-year contract extension $9.3 million a season. So it's about like a 8 years, $72 million for Matt Barzal. That is wonderful news for the Islanders. So lock up Barzal. And some soccer news. Barca agrees to a Griezmann sale as Atletico reaches deal to sign Griezmann permanently until 2026. So that is interesting. And then Barca coach Xavi was pissed off with the refs as the refs refused to explain the injustice to a big non-penalty call in their loss to Inter. So that cost them that game. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. You guys know what it is. I gave it away earlier. I'm laying the points with Central Florida. I understand it's minus 120. I don't care. I'm laying the points. It's going to be a half unit. So I'm laying a half unit on Central Florida minus 2.5 against Central Florida for my best bet of the day. All right, so that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything from today, looking at everything tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a shorter show because we don't have baseball. But we still have the NHL and NBA preseasons. We have NHL right-wing rankings to do tomorrow. We have Survivor Masked Singer to recap as well. And maybe we'll do an NFL awards segment in the show as well. And obviously, best bet and news and notes. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.